time and watch these lights alone. I look around my life and you are gone. I might have done something to keep you if I'd known how unhappy you'd become. I was dreaming of you with my heart in your hand, and I was following through my beautiful plans. Yeah, now I'm rolling down this canyon drive with your laughter in my head. I'm gonna have to block it out somehow to survive, 'cause those dreams are dead and I'm alive. I wanna go where I never hear your name. I wanna lose my sorrow and be free again. And I know I've been insane when I think of places that I could have been. And I was dreaming of you with my heart in your hand, and I was following through my beautiful plan. Standing here by the highway side, watching these trucks roll by, 4 inches from my face. Yeah, thinking about the time I've wasted and the pleasure we once tasted, looking up and down this road. I've been here before, don't wanna be here no more. Yes, now I'm rolling down California 5 with your laughter in my head. Gonna have to block it out somehow to survive, 'cause those dreams are dead and I'm alive. Yes, baby, I'm alive. Hey, look at the way I believed in you and loved you all these years. Now you can fill your swimming pool with all your salty tears. You could have told me what was in your heart, but baby, you lied. And I thought that it would kill me, but I'm alive. Yes, baby, I'm alive.
Running down along the towns along the shore. When I was 16 and on my own, though I couldn't tell you what the hell those breaks were for, I was just trying to hear my song. Jimmy found his own sweet sound and won that free guitar. We'd all get in the van and play. Life became the bear, the rouge et noir. A stretch of road running to LA. Pages turning, pages we were years from learning. Straight into the night our hearts were flown. Better bring your own redemption when you come to the barricades of heaven where I'm from. Stars above and the lights below. Among those there to test their fortunes and their wills, I lost track of the score long ago. Pages turning, pages we were years from learning. Straight into the night our hearts were flown. Better bring your own redemption when you come to the barricades of heaven where I'm from. Childhood comes for me at night. Voices of my friends, your face bathing me in light. Hope that never ends.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise and stand for honors to Brigadier General Sheffield, United States Air Force, the presentation of the colors, and the national anthem. Advance the colors.
Heart. Color. Color. Heart. Present. Color.
Honors to the General.
Carry. Color.
Ruffles and flourishes.
Heart.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Good evening. My name is Dr. Andrew Delgado. I'm going to be your master of ceremonies for this evening. At this time, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to introduce the Dean of the Lewis Baird Junior College of Business, Dr. Scott Keller.
Good evening, everyone. What a wonderful event. It's very special to have you here this evening in our beautiful Lewis Baird Junior College of Business. We celebrate these extraordinary cadets tonight who completed the Air Force Junior ROTC Summer Flight Academy, hosted by the Lewis Baird Junior College of Business in partnership with Valley Incorporated AMS Flight School. I want to open by recognizing Brigadier General Sheffield, who I'll have the honor of introducing shortly. Thank you, sir. I would also like to recognize the following. I'd like to recognize our University President Diaz and Provost Cool, whose support of the Baird College and the Air Force Junior ROT Summer Flight Academy is invaluable. Ladies and gentlemen, all of this has to be approved by the leaders of the college and of the university. And it's a very special honor for these students to be representing such an important program for the College of Business. For the Air Force Flight Academy personnel, I would like to recognize Kimberly Altzier, Dale Lightfoot, Clayton Baskin, Andrew DuPont, John Lawler, who were our ground school instructors. Representatives from Valley Incorporated AMS Flight School, Steve Smith, owner-president, whose partnership made this possible and has made this possible for years. Eric Rose, program manager. Bill Smith, assistant chief flight instructor, and certified instructors Krista Youngchuta. She said I could say Wade. Evan Bozes and Robert Sanders. our faculty and staff in attendance who put in countless of hours to make this a success. Thank you. And of course, the 11 cadets being honored tonight. 10 of these cadets are in high school and 1 is in college. They hail from across the U.S., Alabama, California, Colorado, Florida, Georgia, Minnesota, Nebraska, and Texas. In just 8 weeks, they completed their private pilot certifications and/or earned 6 college credits. This is truly an impressive group. And I was told this evening that this is perhaps the most impressive group that we've had in the program. Now I would like to turn our attention to our featured speaker. Tonight, I have the honor of introducing Brigadier General Sheffield. Brigadier General Joseph L. Sheffield serves as commander of the Gene M. Holmes Center, overseeing officer training programs that prepare over 100,000 cadets annually for the U.S. Air Force and Space Force. A U.S. Air Force Academy graduate, he is a command pilot with more than 3,600 flight hours, including over 1,125 combat hours, primarily in the B-1 bomber. His leadership experience spans numerous command roles, including 28th Bomb Wing Commander and Chief of the House Liaison Office at the Pentagon. He holds master's degrees in business, military strategy, and national security from institutions including the University of Nebraska, the School of Advanced Air and Space Studies, and the Dwight D. Eisenhower School. His distinguished service is recognized with top honors, including the Defense Superior Service Medal, Legion of Merit with 2 Oak Leaf Clusters, Meritorious Service Medal with 5 Oak Leaf Clusters, and the Air Force Medal with 4 Oak Leaf Clusters. Ladies and gentlemen, for a very special evening with a very special person, please join me in welcoming Brigadier General Sheffield.
Well, good evening. What an amazing event, an opportunity to be here. So thank you for that very, very kind introduction. I'm just grateful to be here because we're here with 11 amazing individuals, 11 amazing cadets, and a full cadre of folks to help get them to where they are, whether it's family or friends here in the audience, whether it's the university, the flight program, and our junior ROTC program to help set up this flight academy. What an amazing thing. One thing before I jump in, just with a couple of thoughts before we recognize you all. I've spent some time in Washington, and one of the things I realized, usually the higher you are up, the lower your introduction needs to be. So I really understand where I am, so that's very kind of you to go through a little bit of that biography. Junior Air Force ROTC Flight Academy. Over 1,200 people, fully qualified, applied to a slot that they could come and get this experience. And we're here with 11 of them from all around the nation, right here in West Florida University, and it is absolutely a treat. And you should realize that it is quite an accomplishment. It's quite an achievement just to be selected, just to be here. But not only that, hopefully you feel accomplished. I hope the parents and the families also feel accomplished. But I'd like you just to think for a moment. Remember when you got in that aircraft for your first solo flight? A little bit nervous, right? Were you wondering, hey, do I know, am I ready? Probably a little bit of natural, to have a little bit of some butterflies and some anxiety, being a little bit scared. But ultimately, what did you do? You prepared, you knew you'd been trained, you knew what you needed to do. You pushed up the power, and what happened? You started rolling down the runway. And like, okay, am I ready? Do I, keeping the rudder, keeping the aircraft on center line, making sure I know the winds, what is my guidance as I depart? And then you lifted off into the air, and how did it feel? You were all alone. You were the one controlling that machine. You in the air. 150 years ago, kings and queens, they would have paid their whole kingdom to get a chance to go fly in the air, and you were doing it, and you did it alone. And you did it in a solo flight. Not only that, not only did they solo, they then went cross-country flights. They flew at night. they got a chance to realize to what it is to be an aviator, what it is to be a pilot, what it is to slip the surly bonds of earth and dance on clouds and silver wings, as the poem goes. And it's an exciting feeling. And it's one that what I hope it'll remind you of, you can do hard things. You can do something that, hey, I'll volunteer to do that challenge. I'll volunteer to press myself. I'll volunteer to do something that is beyond my comfort zone. So I would encourage you to not shy away from hard things. You've been able to solo an aircraft. You've been able to know other things with aircraft as well, and it's an exciting and a neat thing to do. I would also like to, aviation is a key part of our nation. It's a key part of our national defense. Those that control the sky, those that can perform impacts from the sky, whether it be the ground, to the space, to the sea, is important. But aviation is also important just for the need of air travel, the need of cargo. So I hope aviation, once you got in that air, it was something that you were excited and it made you a little bit passionate. There's a quote from Leonardo da Vinci that I'm here with my command chief, Chief Jen McKeenan. It's nice to have her with me. But a chief gave this to me. It says, "For once you have tasted flight, you will walk the earth with your eyes turned skyward. For there you have been, and there you long to return." I don't know if you feel that way or not, but when you have other days that you're like doing things on the ground, whether it's at school or work, you're like, hey, I wish I was in the air. That'd be kind of fun right now. So I remember a flight that I had. I was in training, and I was very fortunate. I had two instructors that showed me, they believed in me. One, when I was just kind of doubting what's my capability, he had been a Thunderbird pilot, and he said, hey, you've got great hands, you have great capability. His little encouragement kind of gave me some motivation. Another one, when I wasn't sure if there's people, some of you may want to fly since you were 2. Some of you may just realize recently you wanted to. It doesn't really matter where you are. And some of you are like, I'm not sure if I'm going to keep flying very often. Well, that may change, that may differ. And I had an instructor that did that. But so I am about 3 months through my pilot training, and I did mine through the Air Force. So you're lucky you got a chance to come here and do it through our civilian experts. I remember my first solo flight, I remember a couple extra solo flights, but finally we do formation flying. And so formation flying at that time, it was a small twin jet engine aircraft, but you'd be 3 feet from the aircraft in front of you, and you'd take off together. And I remember taking off, and then we go to a turn, we go out to the area, and all of a sudden you start doing loops. We start doing different maneuvers, and you have no idea because you're just focusing on your lead aircraft, because I was the wing, just following on them, making sure that I was there. So somebody that I was, basically looking out for them, and they were looking out for me. And it absolutely, something clicked that just got me excited. And I said, I love being in the air. I love the idea of aviation. I love the idea of flying. And I hope a little bit of that happened to you all these last 8 weeks. Hopefully, you've connected with one another, you've created some friendships, and you have something that will be a bond as you move forward. So we are absolutely thrilled that you were selected to come here for this flight academy. You've stayed here, you've been able to complete and go do great things. I have a coin or a chip that I oftentimes give to superior performers as we go out and to meet different cadets, different folks within the Air Force and Space Force as they're going through their education and their development. And our focus is pretty simple. We want to build leaders of character, we want to build critical thinkers, and we want to go those who are willing to act. But this chip on one side has the Air Force prop and wings, which is started in really in the Army Air Corps. What would happen is you would receive that as you're going through your development of whether you're going to be a propeller for a helicopter or wings for fixed flight. But it's a symbol of achievement. It's a symbol of effort and energy. And in here it says U.S. Air Force G&M Home Center, but on the back there is a picture of an attitude indicator, right? Have you gotten familiar with that? More familiar than you want to be? Yeah. What does the attitude indicator do for you? Tells your attitude. Exactly. Tells your attitude. So why would I put that on a coin? The reason is 85% of life is your attitude. I would just encourage you as you move forward to your attitude indicator, right? When you're flying, attitude, airspeed, attitude, maybe looking outside, attitude, altitude. If you're keeping looking at your attitude indicator, say, where is my vector? Where am I in a bank? Am I in a climb? Am I in a turn? Am I where I want to be? And I would encourage you to focus on your attitude. 80%, 85%, 90%, people have different things of life is on your attitude. I would encourage you to take this accomplishment, have a positive attitude, and move forward in all that you do. On the side of the coin, it says mind, body, and character, because each one of you have influence. Each one of you are important. You're important to your team, you're important to your school, you're important to your family and your community. And you have influence, and you have leadership. And I would encourage you to continue to focus on building your mind, keeping your body healthy and able to function, and then character is just who you are and living up to high morals. And so as you receive a certificate, I'd also like to give you this coin to let you know how proud we are of you, how excited we are that you came and did this program and that you accomplished it and completed it. But I'd like you to always remember, every time you look at an attitude, hey, which way am I pointed? Am I where I want to be with my attitude? And you can help control that and work towards that. Okay. I would just like to say how thankful I am that I have a part to see. I haven't had a chance to meet you all yet, but hopefully you get a chance after to do it. But be part of our rising generation here in America. I 100% believe in the American experiment. I think we're fortunate to live in this country, in this nation. I'm grateful for the opportunities and freedoms and liberties it affords us, and each one of us in our own sphere, whether it's in our family, our community, our school, or greater, we have an influence. And this generation will be the ones that make a difference. In that bio we talked about, we have 96,000 junior ROTC cadets. That's a lot of people around our nation. And then we have about 14,000 ROTC cadets that are joining in the Air Force and Space Force specifically. And getting a chance to go out and meet them, it's impressive, and who they are impressive. And what you did tonight is impressive. And so I want you to know that we're proud of you, and we hope you got a little bit of taste of aviation. I hope you got a little bit of excitement, and hopefully we see you in the air sometime soon. Thanks very much.
At this time, we will begin the presentation to cadets. Mr. Andrew DuPont will announce each cadet's name. Cadets will come forward and shake hands with Brigadier General Sheffield and Dean Keller. Then proceed to Mr. John Lawler and Mr. Bill Smith to receive your name patch and wings certification for completion of the Summer Flight Academy and your UWF Flight Academy patch. The UWF Flight Academy patch will have shield and spears for the Argonauts, props and wings, as the General had mentioned, to represent the United States Air Force Aviation's history, a gold 4 representing the 4th Air Force Junior ROTC Summer Flight Academy here at UWF, and the Latin phrase, Aumenti esse ceterum, for the best is to be seen. At this time, I'd like to invite Mr. DuPont to come forward to read the names of the cadets, and I would like to invite Brigadier General Sheffield and Dean Keller to the podium to give awards.
At this time, I'd like to recognize Allison Bear, who passed their FAA knowledge test. The next cadet, Cullen Briggs, who passed their FAA knowledge test and earned their private pilot certificate. The next cadet, Santiago Calvino. Santiago passed his FAA knowledge test. Grant Dunn passed his FAA knowledge test. Myra Feliciano. Myra passed her FAA knowledge test and earned her private pilot certificate. Thomas Good. Thomas passed his FAA knowledge test and earned his private pilot certificate. Madison Moran, who passed their FAA knowledge test. Next, I'd like to welcome Christopher Acuno, who passed their FAA knowledge test and earned their private pilot certificate. Rebecca Ross. Rebecca earned her private pilot's certificate and passed the FAA knowledge test. Zoe Smith. Zoe passed her FAA knowledge test. Jeremiah Tutaki. Jeremiah passed his FAA knowledge test and earned his private pilot certificate. And real quick, Allison, come on up one more time. Grab your patches.
Next, we would like to, and we are pleased to present to our cadets. First award will be the ACE Outstanding Mentor, and the second award will be for the Air Force Junior ROTC Flight Academy Top Cadet. These awards are based on the following criteria: work ethic, attitude, academic performance, aviation skills, service, character, and leadership. This time, I would ask Brigadier General Sheffield and Dean Keller to come forward to the step and repeat to congratulate our winners. For the award winners, please come forward when your name is announced to receive your award and accept congratulations from Brigadier General Sheffield and Dean Keller. Please stay long enough for your photo to be taken. The first award for Outstanding Mentor. This cadet has been described as having excellent leadership traits, a motivator, and always willing to help others. Please congratulate Cadet Christopher Okuno. Our second award for Top Cadet. This cadet is an excellent student, has top grades in the class, and finished with the highest average scores. They were always willing to help others improve on their tests and knowledge. Please congratulate Cadet Rebecca Ross. Gentlemen, you may be seated. Next, I would like to introduce Mr. Dale Lightfoot, the Executive Officer to the Director at Air Force Junior ROTC, to make some remarks. Sir.
Well, good evening, everyone. And General Sheffield, thank you so much for those remarks. And sir, I just want to say thank you for making the drive down from Maxwell today with Chief McKean. You don't have the time, but you make the time for all of our cadets, and our cadets feel very special. Last night, when I said General Sheffield is going to come down here, it was like being on a Chester the Cheeto commercial because their smiles got huge. So it was absolutely fantastic, sir. Thank you for making the time. And ladies and gentlemen, if I could just pause for a quick second. Chief McKean has been a member of our Air Force for 26 years, and I believe this is her last TDY for the Air Force. She is spending it with junior ROTC cadets. She has been a champion of junior ROTC cadets. She's gone to national level competitions. She's gone to, this is not her first time coming to this, and next month she'll hang up her uniform for the final time, and she has done incredible things for us in supporting the cadets. So if I could, I just wanted to recognize Chief McKean. If we give her a big round of applause and thank her for her service. So I stand here very humble. I'm standing here on behalf of Colonel Matthew Tipton and Colonel Eugene Moore. They are the junior ROTC and the ROTC commanders. And I'll give you one of their closing thoughts with my closing thought tonight. But they wanted to send their congratulations to each and every one of you as well. Dean Keller, thank you so much. This is an incredible organization. And cadets, when I tell you you hit the grand slam by having the opportunity to come to the University of West Florida, I told you that early, right, when we met? And has it ever proven to be true? The stories that I've listened to on Teams calls from what you've experienced here at the University of West Florida are second to none at any of our 17 institutions across the United States. They treated you, in your words, like family. From the lunch ladies who had their breakfast prepared for them in the morning, to the extra ice cream that they got to celebrate something that was done at the end of the day, to taking them to the Blue Wahoos games, to an opportunity to go out and watch. I know I'm Air Force, but I got to tell you, watching the Angels fly is something spectacular. It brings goosebumps to me every single time they had a chance to go out and experience that. So, Dean, thank you so much to you and your team. And Andrew, I don't know where he slipped off the side. He's over on the side. Has just been a bedrock for these cadets. And I'm telling you, this Flight Academy is always up and down. And I always tell folks this when I get the chance to speak. This is a 32-week course that they complete in 8 weeks. Think about that for a second. And oh, by the way, when Jeremiah showed up here, he was 16. Imagine the pressure of what goes through you. And as I heard the Ross family, I thought we were at a Ross family reunion there for a second. I was like, oh my goodness. This has been a family experience for the cadets. And I just want to tell you how proud it makes me just as an Air Force veteran when I hear them talk about they're going to get together and go to the Oshkosh Air Show and they're going to go. That to me just tells me that in building better citizens for our country that we're doing a pretty good job. So I do want to leave you with one other comment too before I talk about the bosses. And that is, if any of you have any questions about the future of our country, come see me. I will take you to any of our junior ROTC detachments. And I have also been an ROTC instructor. Please come out. Please make the time to come out and find these guys. They're doing world-class work for no cause and no money, no fame and no glory. Our junior ROTC cadets complete 1.6 million hours of community service every year. That's in addition to all the extracurriculars that they're doing. They're on the sports teams, they're doing color guard, they're leading their cadet wings, and they're not getting any fame or fortune for it. Now, I say that to say there is a little fame and fortune that comes with this. Right, Myra? Myra, if you'd please stand up for a quick second. This is a big deal, and Myra knows this already. She was selected as the Air Force Junior ROTC Cadet of the Year out of 96,101 cadets. That is the number one right there. I hope you hear that applause every night when you're leading your cadet wing this fall and you're getting ready for CLCs and you go, why do I do this? That's right, there are people that recognize extremely great work and what you do for us. So I want to leave you with a challenge, and I want to point to you for a second. If you're not familiar with military uniforms and the flight suit, on the left sleeve of the general's flight suit is something that he earned. He had to be selected for, he had to be nominated for, and then when you're a graduate of weapons school, it's one of the biggest deals for our military. Well, they teach you that you're supposed to be 3 things to be a good pilot. I will tell you those 3 things are to be a good human being. Are you going to be humble? Are you going to be approachable? And are you going to be credible? And I hope that for all of you future aviators, you do all of those things. You're humble in every day and every approach that you have, because when I was returning from Desert Storm, my 4-star general made an observation, and he said, you know what, when I was flying back from there, I kind of thought about it for a second. I was like, wow, we just did exactly what our training entitled us to do. We did exactly what our bosses hoped we would do. Like, we dominated the air in Desert Storm. And then he said, and then I paused for like 5 seconds, and I was like, you dummy. If it hadn't been for the cop that was out there guarding my plane last night, I wouldn't have been able to take off on this mission. If it hadn't been for the medic that cleared me, that made sure I was ready to fly, I wouldn't have been ready for this mission. If it hadn't been for the cook that served up a meal for me so that I was ready to function for this mission, I couldn't have done my mission. So I'm going to remind all of you, whether you pursue Delta, hopefully the United States Air Force, or any other branch of the service, that there are some really important things that we're going to ask of you. And so I'll leave you with a comment that Colonel Moore and Colonel Tipton gave to me. Congratulations. Never stop learning. Be a good airman, be a good wingman. Congratulations to all of you.
At this time, I would like to introduce Cadet Christopher Okuna, who will make some remarks on behalf of the UWF Summer Flight Academy.
Good evening, ladies. Good morning, evening, gentlemen. My name is Christopher Okuno. I am a cadet going into my 4th year at San Jose State University, Detachment 045. And I have had the absolute pleasure of working alongside all of these fantastic cadets in this 8-week-long program. I'd like to start out by expressing some appreciation. I think I speak for all of us when I say I had no idea what I was getting myself into. I arrived at the airport and met up with Jeremiah and Bella, and we were told to meet up with the UWF liaison outside security. No context on who that is or what they might imply. And we had no idea just how important the person that would turn out to be. Our quote-unquote UWF liaison turned out to be our chaperone, our mentor, our guide, our leader, and so many other things on this trip. And without him, I don't know if this program would run. I don't know if we would have made it to the end. And I would just like to express my heartfelt appreciation for Mr. Andrew DuPont. Thank you for everything you do, and please continue to keep it up for the next couple of years. Additionally, to the rest of the team that works here at UWF, Melissa Brode, Amy Miller, Amy Brewer, and the rest of the College of Business here, thank you so much for this program. It was an absolute delight. All of the facilities, just as Mr. Lightfoot was saying, it takes a village to raise a child, and there are 11 of us here. So it took way more than a village. It's a truly incredible staff, and we had a fantastic time. I would recommend this program to anybody who asked, or even pretty much anybody who doesn't ask. Additionally, for people who run behind the scenes, they mentioned it earlier, but we wake up at 5 a.m., or actually we have to be ready at 5:20, which means for a lot of us, 4:30 or 5 o'clock wake up time. And that would be a heck of a lot harder if it wasn't for our wonderful cafeteria staff, the ladies behind the counter. They smiled every day, asked us how we were doing. It would have been so much more difficult if they weren't there. Thank you for making fantastic food for us, for going above and beyond. They made cookies for Jeremiah's birthday. You are incredible. I know at least one of them is with us here today, so thank you so much for all you do. Additionally, we wake up at 5:20, but right alongside us are our chaperones. You probably should know this, but AMS, our flight school, is about 30 minutes away, up to the northeast, which isn't a long distance, but when you're waking up at 5 a.m. is one heck of a drive. So thank you so much to our chaperones, Magdalena, Nancy, Lakshmi, Abby, Dom, Sajita, Jane, and Bernice. That's one crazy set of hours for a summertime job. So thank you for putting in the extra work, for being mentors for us, for telling us about the program here, and just being friendly people. Thank you so much for all that you did. Speaking of AMS, waking up again right alongside us at 5 a.m., our CFIs, Krista, Robert, and Evan primarily, as well as Caleb and Jacob. They were out there just as early as we were, still groggy, waking up from sleep, but excited and passionate about helping us learn. I personally would not choose to be over 8 weeks, over 50 hours in a small cramped metal box with a number of other people, but they chose that, and beyond that, they were passionate about it, and they cared about our learning and our development, and without them, we would never have made it as far as we did. So thank you so much for all the work you did. Thank you for being there for us. Thank you for being friends, for being mentors, for being teachers, and good luck as you work towards the airlines. One of the things you learned as pilots is about 100 different acronyms, one of which is PAVE, PAVE stands for Pilot, Aircraft, Environment, and External Pressures. And boy, did we learn about the environment. If you haven't noticed by how the weather has been, it has been raining a lot. There have been a lot of factors going into this, and a lot of reasons why we wouldn't be able to fly. And there's one person who's been coordinating it and trying to get us up in the air as much as possible to get as many of us through as he can. So to Bill, thank you so much for all the work that you've done in arranging our flight times, in managing all of those external pressures and all of that environmental change. Thank you so, so much. In addition to all of his other hats, Andrew is also one of our ground instructors alongside Mr. John Lawler. John is incredible, and I know I speak for all of us when I express my heartfelt appreciation. He put together an 81-page document, unprompted, on how to pass the written test. That is how, out of 11 cadets that took it, 11 cadets passed our written test. So thank you so much, Mr. John Lawler, for putting together all of that work, putting in all that extra time to make sure that we all passed. He is a wonderful person. Additionally, last couple ones, this is an incredibly stressful experience, if that isn't clear. There's a lot of hours of studying, and sometimes, actually quite a bit, you just want a break. We would not have been able to make it to the end if there wasn't one person putting together summer activities. We mentioned the Blue Angels. We went to multiple museums. We went to the beach and had fun. We have had cookouts. He put together catering for all of us. Thank you, Mose was absolutely wonderful. The one person who's putting together all of that and making sure that we could go and have that fun and de-stress after spending hours upon hours upon hours of studying was Mr. Brett Huskell. Thank you so much for doing all that work and helping us reach the end. Let's see. Additionally, I'd like to thank, he already spoke, but Mr. Dale Lightfoot. Every 2 weeks, we'd have a debrief with him online, and I know I speak for many of the rest of us when I say your brutal honesty is incredibly appreciated. Sometimes you need that kick in the rear end. So thank you, Mr. Dale Lightfoot. And then I'd like to thank all of the family and friends. Again, this is an incredibly stressful program. It took a lot of time and effort to get here in the first place, to reach that starting line, and we are here because of you. Even throughout this program, there were a number of times when I've talked to the others and they said, man, am I crashing out? I'm kind of reaching the end of my line right here. And I remember on a number of times with a number of different cadets, they'd come out of their rooms and they'd be beaming, and I'd ask, oh, did you just get off a phone call? And they'd say, yeah, I called my girlfriend or my boyfriend or my dad or my little sister or my brother, and they'd be absolutely delighted. They'd be joyous. They'd be way happier than when they went into their room. Thank you so much for being here, for your family, for your friends, for being here for your partners. We would not have made it without all of you. They would not have made it without all of you. You are incredibly important, and what you do is not unappreciated. Thank you so much for supporting these wonderful, wonderful cadets. Thank you for making them the people that they are, for making them and encouraging them and bringing them here and motivating and fueling their passion for flying. Without what you do, we would never have made it. So thank you so much to all of you. Last but not least, thank you to all the cadets. To Bandit, Slow Rider, Bubbles, Eugene, Frenchie, Play-Doh Boy, Baby Girl, Lover Boy, Felly, and Dr. Good. And family and friends, good luck finding out who's. Thank you so much for making this experience what it was. I remember the first day we all showed up, we were hanging out in the snack lounge. Late in the evening, we had all arrived. Some of us were still arriving, eating Chick-fil-A. And we were trying to figure out what we were going to do for icebreakers and trying to remember each other's names. And it was awkward, but it was excited. As we went on, as we got through those weeks, we got to know each other better. And it was my absolute pleasure to learn more and more about you. When you wake up at 5 o'clock with a group of people and you have to step out that door, it's really hard to put on a smile. But you step outside and you see those cadets standing there beaming, excited about the day, excited about what we're going to do, or even if they weren't excited about what we were going to do, trying their best and getting through, it just puts a smile on your face. It makes you want to be there. When they're dealing with, as I said, PAVE, the experience of trying to reach the end of this program while dealing with the environment, having the bummer of a time of dealing with rain showing up last minute when you're trying to go on your solo, when you're trying to go on your check ride, when you're trying to do anything and the weather's just not there, or scheduling didn't work out, or you're not doing what you wanted to do because the weather over at 79 Juliet is just not happening. Sorry, Maddie. It's a bummer of a time. But the reason why we were able to make it to the end, the reason why it was such a positive experience was because these cadets showed up and they showed out. It has been an absolute pleasure to be able to learn more about you, to spend an ungodly number of hours a day studying over one single textbook about that thick that everybody here has read every single page in, trying to get through tests, trying to reach that solo, trying to go up and fly well and fly safe and reach a common goal, and learning about one another, about our common desire to aviate, whether it be in the Navy or in the Air Force, or even if it's commercial, or even if you're not sure what you want to do in the future. Your common drive, your passion, your dedication, your character, I have never met such a powerful group of people. I am incredibly excited to see where you go in the future, to hear about your endeavors, to learn about your failures and how you got through them, to figure out what kind of people you become. I want to hear every step of it. And it has been my absolute honor to be able to spend the last 8 weeks with you. I am incredibly proud of what you've done. So stay in contact. I certainly will. And don't let the sky be the limit. Thank you very much.
Hey, so for all of our families aboard, your cadets are going to be coming home with a call sign. Those are earned, so feel free to ask them what those are all about, because I'm sure there's some really great stories. At this time, we're going to do certificates of appreciation. We'd like to recognize key program personnel who've played vital roles in keeping our program participants safe while providing mentorship and guidance during their 8 weeks here aboard campus. As I call your name, please come forward to receive your certificate of appreciation from Mr. Andrew DuPont. Mr. Brett Haskell. Dominic Anthony Aragon. Sajida Awal. Abigail Hartland. Bernice Osei. Nancy Osei Bonsu. Emily Ote Okwa. Jane Owosu. Edra Sajihan. Magdalena Vokarsasari. Before we conclude today's program, I'd like to extend a heartfelt thanks to the many individuals and organizations that made support for this year's Summer Flight Academy possible. Now in its fourth year, the program would not be what it is without the collective efforts of our dedicated partners and supporters. Programs like this are essential to addressing the growing pilot shortage, and we are proud to contribute to the solution. We are especially grateful for the incredible support behind this initiative. Thank you firstly to Air Force Junior ROTC, our UWF President and Provost, our Dean, Dr. Scott Keller, Dean of the Lewis Baird Junior College of Business, Mr. Andrew DuPont, Mr. John Lawler, Valley and AMS, and especially Mr. Bill Smith, who coordinated flight schedules, aircraft maintenance, and weather delays. Our sincere thanks go to our certified flight instructors, Evan Bose, Christiana Jaconvik, and Robert Sanders, who quite literally put their lives in the hands of our cadets. We also appreciate the invaluable support of our Dean's Office, the MBA Office, the Department of Commerce, the UWF Continuing Education, UWF Housing, and the UWF Dining. We hope we haven't missed anyone, as there's quite a few people that really brought this thing together and made it happen, all of which deserve a round of applause for their generosity and continued success of this initiative. There's a couple individuals that really deserve some very special attention. Firstly, to our Associate Dean, Dean Melissa Broad, who brings everybody in, and we're talking about making folks feel like family. Melissa's really the driving force behind that, so she's not here, but a round of applause to her, please. Now the man, the myth, and the legend that you've heard so much about. He's definitely up every day at 0500 getting things ready to go. On most days, he's working late, well into the night, to make sure that everything's getting ready to run smoothly for the next day. His dedication, energy, and mentorship have been instrumental in making this program an absolute success. He is indeed a true role model and has earned the deep respect and gratitude of our cadets. Mr. Andrew DuPont, please come forward. We've got a special gift commemorating with a photo of our 4th Summer Flight Academy. Please be seated. To close, it's been an incredible 8 weeks of watching young cadets come together, train together, learn together, and achieve together. Thank you again to the Air Force Junior ROTC for your unwavering support, guidance, and to our distinguished guest, Brigadier General Sheffield, United States Air Force, for being with us today. And most indeed, congratulations to our cadets, and congratulations to your families, and we can't wait for you guys to go forward and go back to your homes. Tell the story that you did this summer. Send your friends. Tell them how motivated you were. Tell them what it is that you learned. And at the end of the day, go forth, do great things, and be great Americans. Know that you have a home here at UWF, and we look forward to seeing what it is that you could do. At this time, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes our ceremony. I'd ask you to hang around, have some refreshments, and we look forward to seeing you over at the bar. Thank you.